we're gonna back squat. Okay, so the difference is you guys have front squatted. Now that your cleans are good enough, we can get the front squat, we can get what we need out of the front squat through the cleans. All right, so we're gonna move to a back squat. It's gonna target a little bit different muscles, more glutes and hamstrings, as opposed to lower back and quads for the front squat. All right, so she's gonna go about a little wider than shoulder width on the bar. Okay, she's gonna go under the bar. She's gonna lift it, kind of make a shelf with her shoulders. Right here, to put the bar on, elbows are gonna come slightly back. All right, now she's gonna kind of tilt her head up just a little bit, basically pinching the bar right here. All right, so then she's gonna stand it up, walk it out. The bar should barely clear this as you walk back, okay? She's gonna set her feet a little bit wider than hip width apart, more under the shoulders, all right? She's gonna take a big breath in, hold it, and she's gonna squat back down and come up. All right, she resets the breath, goes back down. All right, notice you can see her back muscles here are engaged. All right, you wanna make sure your back stays engaged. It's not just a lower body movement. All right, any questions on that? All right, you're not gonna be able to go quite as low as you do on the front squat, all right? And one thing I want to address too is there is a too low. There's definitely not low enough, but especially for you guys as flexible as you guys are for your sport, I want you to go to a point where your hamstrings are still going to be engaged. All right, can we demonstrate this? Mm-hmm. You don't need to mark for it. Actually, yeah, let's use that. All right, so she can decide if she wants to do it the right way or the wrong way first. And you guys see if you can pick up the difference. All right, does she look like her hamstrings are engaged right here? No. Her core, you can look at it. Her core's come loose a little bit, and she can just sit there. She can sit there all day probably. All right. Now go ahead and do it where you're staying tight. All right. If we wanted her to stay there for a minute, she's probably not going to be able to do it. All right. But notice her hip crease is lower than the front of her knee. All right, so that's where we want to go. All right, questions on that? All right, if you get stuck, all right, kind of like when we did the front squats or the tall cleans, I want these to be at a point where they're going to catch the bar. So if you get, for some reason, if you feel like you can't stand up, basically you just sit and the straps are going to catch the bar. Okay. All right, we're just going to go with the barbell for now. All right, any questions? All right, but do we know what force, like how to apply force?
Wait, we have had physics.
The freshman should be in physics right now. Okay, so are you applying force when you're squatting right now in that first set? Are you applying force straight down, or are you guys applying force out?
Down.
Out.
Think about it. Walk back through it in your mind.
I would say down.
Okay, it needs to be out.
Out?
Oh. Okay. So think about if you're standing on a paper towel and you want to rip the paper towel apart with your feet. All right. My feet are going to be here, and I'm going to try to rip it that way, but I don't want my feet to actually move. Okay. It's going to be more like if you're trying to screw in a screw and it's already tight, and you're kind of still trying to turn it. Okay. So when you do that, you're going to be like this. I'm twisting here. Okay. Out here like that, and then back up. I'm still pushing down and applying force down too, but a lot of the force is going to be out. All right. Also, I didn't see it as an issue, but a lot of times it will be an issue. It's called knee valgus, where your knees are going to cave in a little bit. All right, so that would be like that. That's not good. All right, that puts a lot of strain on your ligaments. So you want to make sure if your feet are out here, knees are going to track in line with the feet. If it's more in here, okay, notice how I adjusted my knees on that. If I'm out here, I definitely don't want to be in here. Okay? Questions on that? All right, let's go 3 sets of 3, working on applying that torque.